Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kat Timpf Show. Hey, that's my buddy Seena. Seena is a comedian. He's a man of the law.
Yeah,
also.
that's right.
And I guess I first met you through like Ben Kissel and my ex-boyfriend. And not that Ben Kissel's my ex-boyfriend, Ben Kissel and my ex-boyfriend.
Yes.
To clear that up. But I mostly know you through like Megan McCain. And I asked her today, I'm like, what should I ask Seena about? And the first thing she said in all caps was ask him about his hemorrhoids. You're like a comedian and like a lawyer and you have all this going on. She's like, talk about the hemorrhoids.
I am a hemorrhoid activist.
Okay, what's that?
I am passionately trying to tell America to take care of your hemorrhoids. Change your diet, America. It's very difficult to have hemorrhoids. And the podcast I do called The Brighter Side with Ed Larson and Amber Nelson, we all three of us have hemorrhoids. And we all talk about it. And
you all three have hemorrhoids? How?
I don't even know how we even discovered it, but I think one person said it, and then like another one was like, "Oh yeah, I got hemorrhoids too," and then like Amber's like, "I've got hemorrhoids too."
Oh my god, was it therapeutic?
It's I mean, it's a little cathartic to be able to talk about it with your friends and stuff. But and now it came up on Megan's show because she was talking all this stuff about Hillary's health and like Donald Trump's health, and I was like, why are we making such a big deal about their health? They're two 70-year-old people.
Yeah.
God knows they probably have a ton of stuff going on with them. I'm 32. I got hemorrhoids.
So hemorrhoids are not something that's solved easily?
No, not really. No.
You just got very serious.
Sometimes if you get it in the butt a lot, I think they can come and go. But I think if you just have a bad diet, I think they stay around for a while.
Oh.
And then I think I just living in New York for a long time, you just eat like crap. And then all of a sudden everything in your body starts to change when you get older. And then now you just got to deal with some of these things. I moved to a wipe system, like a little. I use like the wet wipes, now, and then I do a little TP. I mean, this is
nice
going
system.
to be run ripples through the podcast world. Me talking about my hemorrhoids.
Do you try to eat healthier? I've been trying to eat like no refined flour this week, and I'm in a bitchy mood all week.
Yeah, carbs make us happier, I think.
Yeah.
And I've done the low carb. I'm trying to do it because I got to do the shoot this weekend. And I'm like, I'm going to go low carb for a couple days. But you get so tired. And
I'm so sleepy.
Yeah, you're so sleepy all the time. Carbs make you feel good. And then it's like, what do you do? Like, meat and cheese are supposed to be in a sandwich with bread.
I've been adding some brown rice because it's a whole grain carb, but it's not the same.
Brown rice is gross.
It's gross. I mixed it with eggs, whites, and vegetables this morning.
As a Persian kid, it's like you eat white rice your whole life. And
yeah.
It's like this brown rice business. Forget about it. The only brown at dinner should be me.
I was going to say, by Persian, you mean terrorist?
Yes.
Fact check.
Yes. Fact check.
Excuse me, I heard you say Persian, which I learned on InfoWars is actually code for terrorist.
Exactly right. And I stopped saying Persian for a while, but when I talk about cuisine, I say Persian, but usually I just say Iranian American because that scares people a little bit more.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm one of the good ones coming back.
Megan also said that your mom hates Trump, and she
hates Trump. So there's a great little story about that. My mom called me one day. She's the type of mom that will just call and just start ranting. She'll just like not even like let me say hello back to her. She'll just like start yelling, and then she took a picture of these shoes she bought. And she goes, Seena, I bought these shoes. They are so beautiful. I took them home. I took them out of the box, and I saw Trump. Ivanka Trump shoes. I said, oh, and she sent me this picture. She took them back to the department store where she bought them from, and she said to the store clerk, she said, I don't want these shoes. And the store clerk said, well, why? What was wrong with it? Did they not fit? Yeah. Were they not of the style that you wanted? She goes, I don't want to give 1 penny to this man or his family. And the store clerk was like, I 100% agree. So in some database somewhere at some like Saks department store, there is a line item for a return reason as Trump.
Yeah, I remember when we were at a bar, like me, you, and Megan, and you were tweeting purposely terrible things about Trump to try to so we would retweet you and then people would go after you.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was like some people were like, oh, this guy hasn't gotten his ass beat yet. And I was like, well, yeah, look, let's do it. I mean, let's get into it. I was what I'm also it's like, and I'm sure you've experienced like the soft underbelly of the internet in a way that a guy on the internet can never experience it.
Right.
But I will say, you guys worked really hard to get a lot of hate tweets towards me,
Mhm.
and they really weren't even that bad.
Right.
And then like you wake up, I'm sure on like any weekday, and I'm sure there's like a slew of just vitriol that's in your
100%.
It's so absurd. Like I actually had huge people in social media try to get people to intimidate me and hate me online.
Right.
I'm a Middle Eastern American comedian. It should be a lot easier. Not even one person was like, he's a terrorist. Not even that. It was like it lacked creativity. It lacked any sort of rage.
Yeah.
But if you're a woman online, that's all you have to do.
Die, bitch. After I rape you.
I'm gonna slit your throat after I rape your eyeballs. And it's like, oh God,
Jesus Christ. Yeah, and then they're like, HR manager, grandfather. Like, I was getting harassed by a guy whose bio, like his real name, his real face, and he was like, HR manager, like does HR for, and I'm like, what the hell?
Do you ever look those guys up and try to like find out more about them beyond their Twitter handle or whatever social media
I feel like I
platform?
would if I had more time.
Yeah.
But I just don't really have that kind of time.
How much stuff is it? How much bad stuff do you get on a daily basis?
It's constant.
It's just a constant.
And even the good
stream.
stuff is kind of bad. Like, I want you to massage my body with those eyelashes. I don't care for that. It's like, first of all, those aren't my real eyelashes, you dumbass. Yesterday I was out to dinner and my eyelashes were killing me, so I just like peeled them off because it was the strips and not the individuals, and they're like sticking my eye.
Tell me about it.
I was peeling them off and I put them on the table, and man, they were horrified. But I was just at Blockheads. I didn't know there was like ethics. What's it called? Etiquette rules at Blockheads.
What do you mean? They were upset that you took your eyelashes off?
Well, they just kind of looked at me kind of disgusted.
No, I think you're fine. It's Blockheads.
Yeah.
Get a burrito. Let's move on.
Yeah, except you know what I did? I got the grilled fish tacos and I didn't eat the tortillas.
There you go. Low carb.
And then I was still hungry and I had like 2 drinks.
Yeah.
That's it last night, and I woke up hungover.
Why? Wait a minute. Why are you even eating low carb? You should be triple carb.
I know, because I don't know, because I keep like, I want to be like healthier.
Yeah.
Not because I like think I'm fat, obviously.
Of course.
Because I want to be, although I do sometimes get called fat on. One time I ate like a huge bagel and noodles. Like I woke up and and then before I had to do like a man on the street, and everyone was like, is Katherine Timpf pregnant? And I wanted to, because I did definitely have like a little bloat going on.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be like, yes.
God, I can't imagine what people would say on social media if you were pregnant.
100%.
Terrible things.
Yeah.
They'd be like, want to get in that pregnant lady.
It was my very first time ever being called pregnant, so I was like, oh my God, maybe no more bagels before doing that.
I mean, it's just so.
But I love bagels.
You should just eat whatever you want to eat.
I'm so tempted to sometimes just call it like get fat and call it a day, and like become a feminist body positive activist.
Yeah.
Who's just like, well, whatever. If you don't want to have sex with me, then you're the problem with society.
You know what I like to do? I like to sit in the dark, eat a whole pizza to my face.
Really?
Oh, God, there's nothing that makes me. Hence the hemorrhoids, by the way. But like, wow, nothing makes. Like, my girlfriend will come home after like a weekend of being away, and she'd be like, "Oh, so what'd you eat? You didn't eat any of the groceries I bought in the refrigerator." I was like, "Oh no, I was just like, I went out and stuff." And then she like sees 3 pizza boxes.
She's wonderful, by the way.
Yeah, Cosmo.
And her name is Cosmo, which is like, I'm sure people. She probably gets frustrated because people are probably like, ha ha ha. She's like, nope.
Yeah, Cosmo Kramer, huh? And she's like, I'm a Japanese woman. What are you talking about? Can I swear on this thing? Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. Anything goes. How long have you guys been together?
3 years.
3 years. Didn't you do like, you used to be a swinger, right?
No.
Or something?
Well, I was polyamorous.
Yeah.
And I had multiple relationships in my previous relationship. I had a primary, and then I had other secondary relationships as well.
Doesn't that have, from what I've heard about it, because I mean, I have a lot of friends and people who I know who have done this kind of thing. From what I've heard about it, there seems to be like even more rules.
Yeah, you have to do a lot more talking. It's a lot of like, how's this boundary? It's like, all right, fingers in the butt. Let's do this. Is that okay with everyone? Fingers in the butt. Is that okay? Okay, we're going to move on to step 2 now. It's a lot of like constant checking in with everyone because it's very difficult, especially if you're in like a 3-way relationship. It's not like everyone just does Molly on a Thursday night and just hooks up and then that's it. It's like you're in a relationship with these people.
So it wasn't just like an open relationship. It was like you were in like, you guys were all in a relationship together?
Yeah, so I had my primary ex-girlfriend, and so we were a primary relationship. And then we would kind of like have relationships with other people. I wasn't into like going off and doing my own thing. That really wasn't fun for me. I was very much in love and had a great great sex life, and I was like, let's just have even more fun, like bonus level. And so that's what I kept calling it all the time.
Bonus level.
Bonus level. So we would have relationships with other people, other couples, and that is how that developed, and it was pretty wild.
What were some of the rules?
I mean, it was a lot of like, sometimes you were like sending sexy G-chats back and forth, and then all of a sudden the other person wasn't included in that G-chat conversation. And then you're like, and then it's like, whoa, 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 why'd you say like sit on my face like that, like in all caps, It's like, that was weird. And then it kind of goes back and forth. Then when you have to like break up with the other couple or the other person, that gets really weird.
So it's like they're getting broken up with like you and your primary partner at the same time?
Yes. Yes.
I wouldn't care for that at all.
Take her out to brunch and break up with her.
Oh, wow.
So difficult. So difficult.
How long did you do that for?
Probably like 3 years-ish. I was in, my last relationship was about 6.5.
See, that sounds exhausting. I've definitely, obviously, dated people not exclusively, but my favorite system is don't ask, don't tell. My favorite system is, like, if they ask me something, I'll be like, do you want me to answer that?
Oh
like,
my
what?
God.
Like,
yeah, girl.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
where were you? What were you doing? I'm like, are we doing that? Because
Yeah.
I didn't think we were doing that. I don't want to do that.
So that's if you're in just like dating, right? Or if you're in like a committed relationship.
Kind of starts. Sometimes it kind of starts to go in that other direction, and then I like freak out. I don't know. But it's like I just feel like if it doesn't enter my world, then it wouldn't bother me. Unless it was like we were exclusive and that was expressly discussed. But like if it doesn't enter my, if you're not trying to like bang my sister, then I don't care.
Right. That's a good line to draw.
Yeah, if you're not trying to bang my sister, don't try to bang like my friends, because then it's like this just like enters my world.
I see.
If you want to go bang whoever else and I like don't know about it, and I don't get any diseases from you, then like that's a system. But I guess don't ask, don't tell is probably how people get.
But that sounds like something you would even lay out at the beginning of a relationship if you're going to become exclusive with someone. Like,
yeah,
hey, if you're going to do something, shit happens. Just make sure that it's outside my world, in Vegas or some other state or something, and don't bring back that Zika.
Yeah, that would like be a shitty way to find out that someone was cheating on you with Zika.
I was just thinking about that, like in Miami Beach. I mean, people, it's a hotbed of infidelity down there.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
someone is gonna find out. I'm sure it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
that some woman's gonna get Zika from her man or something, right? That's how it's transmitted, right?
Right.
And then it's gonna be terrible.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be like, I don't know where I got the Zika. It's going to be like the next Ryan Lochte because he'll be like, no, I must have been bitten here in New York.
What do you think about that Ryan Lochte situation? Isn't that terrible?
It's like, I mean, all of it's terrible.
It's almost like what we expect an American sports professional
We
to
do. I mean, I just even remember like I like lost my purse at a party one time and I claimed it was stolen to my mom. Because I didn't want to tell her what I was really doing.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I wasn't famous, so nobody was watching what I was doing.
And no one cares.
No one cares.
But also, no one cared about Ryan Lochte. Don't you know you're like the second swimmer. You're like not even. You're like the third swimmer. Katie Ledecky, I think, is so much cooler than Ryan Lochte.
Yeah, but that hair. I like that he dyed his hair. Someone sat down and was like, do your best to try to look like less of a chode.
How much more of a douche could you look like? Like you were rejected from casting for Blade Runner, and then this is what you're doing now.
Absolutely. Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, I've never actually, oh, my God. I don't know, man. I like when I tell you like my loneliness is paralyzing. I'm surrounded by people, but at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know.
Well, New York's the city where there's, millions of people here, but it can make you feel the most alone.
I feel very alone a lot. Sometimes I love it.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm like, it'd be good to see another person right now.
So do you just kind of go home after work? I mean, you have a pretty busy day usually.
Yeah, I do. I go home and like today, for example, I haven't written a column yet. Or yesterday, like yesterday I was on Kennedy and I did all this taping and so I went home and I wrote a thing at night, and I'll kind of do that. But I don't know, relationship, I've never cheated. So, but I mean, I just feel like everybody cheats and everyone gets mad and then everyone's like, what are you doing? And I've had to deal lately with like men that I've been seeing feeling like they're emasculated by my success, like for the past year, that's been a thing on and off. So it's like, or I could just go home and just watch shows.
Yeah.
Watch my shows.
Well, there's a shortage of good dudes in this city.
There are.
Yeah.
There are. They're all awful so far that I know.
I have a lot of friends that are like, hey, set me up with one of your friends. I was like, no.
Yeah.
It's like I don't think that's gonna be good for you.
Yeah. As a comedian, like everybody is a terrible, like myself included. I mean, I've had like a background in it, but
yeah, I mean, I think if to get into the comedy world, you have to have intensity and a insecurity to some level that you want to show the world, and that's how you kind of cope with it. And that's difficult to deal with in a relationship because it needs a lot of like TLC constantly,
right.
and it also needs a lot of like being able to deal with fluctuations in your emotions.
Yeah.
And that's like those are two things that are difficult to deal with in a relationship.
Right.
And I always see like comedian couples out there, and I'm like, I don't know how those two make it work.
Yeah.
Because that seems impossible.
Mine didn't work.
It just
at all.
Mine didn't work either. Mine ended up in like a tailspin of drug use. And it was like, it was like hot and steamy for quite a while, and it was really fun. But at the end of the day, like a relationship is like work to a certain point, and it's boring work. It's like, how are you literally functioning as a unit in this world? And especially in New York, you have to be really on top of it. I mean, the number of like scheduling things that Cosmo and I have to do now is ridiculous.
Yeah. What drugs, by the way? What tailspin of what drugs?
Oh yeah, it was a lot of Molly, a lot of uppers. Yeah, a lot of the uppers, like Adderall.
Yeah.
I mean, I was also in law school at the time for the brunt of it. And I never took Adderall up until my last year of law school, until like the last semester even. And someone was just like, hey, why don't you try this? I was like, man, I don't need that stuff. I was like, I've been doing this long enough. Like, I've gone through all of law school without taking Adderall. And I took one of those little blue 10 milligram ones, and I felt like God. Kat, I felt like the most powerful man in the world. And then I was furious at my parents because as a kid, my teachers were saying, this kid's got ADD. He should be on Adderall or Ritalin or whatever. And I was like, Mom and Dad, if you would have given me this as a kid, I'd be a fucking senator by now.
I've been on an amphetamine every day for the past, since I was 5 years old.
So don't you think that's tough, right? It's a serious amphetamine.
Yeah, I mean, Adderall is the one I don't really like it because it's too much.
Yeah.
Like I'm on, like it's jittery. Like I'm on, like I do like take like Vyvanse, which is like it's like slow release, and it's like it's much like I don't feel jittery. I can't tell when I'm on it. I just can tell when I'm not on it because I'm like, I'm just like, I went off of it like briefly in college being like, I don't need this. I immediately gained 20 pounds and like got fired from my waitressing job.
So do you just like get lazy? Is that?
Yeah. Well, I have a really big, like I really do get distracted really easily. And like for example, I left my really expensive, like years ago, my old job, my work camera on the subway and my laptop and like ID and everything I own, and bought only like a garbage bag with heels in it out of the train. And then I was like, wait, no. And like sober on my way from work. That's not normal. I got them both back because life's just not fair.
Yeah.
I forget things all the time. I lose things all the time. And both of those days, I don't think I didn't take my pill. But it's like, I'm the guinea pig for that, right? Am I going to die of a heart attack when I'm 50?
This is exactly what I was going to ask you this. Like, what do you think the long-term effects are? You've been taking it since you were 5.
Yeah.
I mean, I took it for like 8 months illegally, completely illegally. It was fantastic. I thanked my drug dealer when I passed the bar.
Yeah.
And I ended up in the fetal position in my closet at home crying about how much of a failure I was. And my ex-girlfriend found me. She's like, what's wrong? I was like, I think I need to stop taking the Adderall.
Yeah.
And it drove me insane.
Yeah, it does. And like I don't know. It can't be good for me. It's my heart's probably like. Plus, I mean, like I don't really have any other healthy habits. Like I drink. I'm a drinker. Yeah. And like I take that, and that's why I'm like, maybe I should eat brown rice. Maybe I should at least have, because like my diet in the past was I would just like not eat all day.
Yeah.
Because I was so like wound up on like coffee and like whatever else, Adderall, and like my working so much, and then I would just eat like 1,500 calories right before I went to bed of just garbage. And I feel like that's like the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do.
That sounds like my late night pizza.
Yeah.
In the dark. I mean, I don't understand how we've over-medicated all these kids so much and just not taken a different approach with this. I think too many like big pharmaceutical companies are making all this money off Adderall. And there are times with the illegal market is so prevalent right now that I have a friend of mine, she has ADHD. Sometimes she can't even get her prescription filled, and she really has a serious problem.
Right.
And she's a genius, But without her medication, it's difficult for her. And I remember when I was like getting all these pills and I was just like, man, this Adderall's great. She's like, fuck you. I can't even get a prescription filled and I need it.
Yeah, I have a wonderful like Russian psychiatrist who does the mail order thing. She lets me get 3 months supply at once. But like I'm always nervous that it's not going to come in time because it really is like hard for me without it.
Yeah, because people get addicted. I mean, they're hooked on it. I mean, it's a part of like how we live our lives now. I don't know how to get off this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't either. And I'm just like not going to try.
Yeah.
I think I'll take it. I'll be like 80 years old and be like, I can't miss Matlock. I gotta stay awake through the whole thing. Gotta pop a vibe. I mean, maybe I'll quit when I'm like 70 and I retire and I'll just become a fat old lady.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that just be like Twitter won't be around anymore?
Right.
I think by that time we'll just be like a floating orb of knowledge.
Yeah.
We won't even have to worry about social media anymore.
I don't want to. Getting old, I can't decide if I'm like if I don't want to get old or if I like can't wait to get old.
Well, forget about getting old. Do you want to jack your fucking brain into the internet?
Yeah.
You want to get your consciousness up into the cloud?
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
That's probably gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, what if it's already happening and like my little MacBook already knows my thoughts?
Probably. Good God.
God, my computer knows so much about me. It's terrifying.
Yeah, it just tried to throw itself off the table here.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know. Do you do the thing where you put the little sticker over your camera?
Yeah, I should do that too. But
it's like everyone does that, but they don't do it to their phone. So like, what's the point?
Got an iPad? I don't know. If they're gonna look, it's not gonna be pretty for them. You know?
Right? Absolutely.
I've done naked stand-up several times, so if you see me jerking off to porn, it's already out there, buddy.
What's naked? What is that like? I would never do. Obviously, I could never do that.
Ultimate stand-up challenge is how I viewed it. I did it like maybe 6 years ago, and then I did it the first time. I came out and I had these Heelys, those shoes with the little rollers on the bottom.
But naked?
Yeah, and I had a fur coat. I had a fur coat and the Heelys. I came out on the Heelys, and I ripped off my fur coat, and I was butt naked. Crushed a beer on stage because that was helpful.
Yeah.
And then I looked down, and there was some beer on my dick. And I just went, whoop, hello, everyone. I'm Seena Jon. I got beer on my dick.
There you go.
And then it was an amazing experience.
Yeah. Could you tell like your normal jokes or did you have to tell?
I told all my normal jokes, which I think is super important. So many people that do naked stand-up try to be like, oh, man, it's pretty cold in here. It's like, yeah, bro, we know it's cold in here. Why don't you just get to the funny? Because that's what really makes people feel amazing is when you can have the confidence to actually do your material and still be naked.
Yeah.
I will say the second time I did it, there was a really creepy guy in the second row, and I said, this is the last time I'm doing this.
Ew, he was just there, like not a comedian, just there to see the naked.
An audience member just to like watch penises. And it's like, oh my God. Oh my God.
I mean, I have to wonder what would make somebody attend that as a patron.
I mean, people wanted to see. It's for the first time I did it, I actually had this girl and some other college friends come. And I had this really big crush on this girl.
Yeah.
And she came with a few friends. And I was like, oh my God, this girl, is he coming to this fucking show? And she had never come and really seen me do stand-up before.
Yeah.
And so this was her first experience seeing me do stand-up.
How'd that work out?
Well.
Not very well.
Not very well.
Oh my God. But what's Megan told me to ask you about smoking Iowaska or something, but she can't spell it.
Drinking ayahuasca.
What's that?
So the ayahuasca is an ancient vine that's found in Peru in South America, and it gives you hallucinogenic, properties. And there's shamans that get trained in it in South America to administer it, and every shaman has their own concoction. It's a root and a vine together with some other elements that they add. It's all natural. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I've done it five or six times now.
What do you do? Like, what do you like?
There's a whole ceremony. It's like a very old. It's like a 1,000+ year old medicine that they use, and it basically is, I would say, on a very high level, it is a fluid, out of body experience and a conversation that you get to have with yourself. Mm-hmm. And you feel like you're in outer space. You start seeing some hallucinations. You start seeing some things.
Like what? Like what do you see?
So I saw like a buffalo with a big gold chain.
Oh, really? So you don't just like feel like different or colors don't look different, but you see shit that's not there.
Oh, yeah. You're seeing
stuff.
I
want to do this.
I saw last time I saw this like electric neon butterfly that was like flying around me. It's extremely emotional. One of the ways I think I got through my last relationship was going and taking ayahuasca and really building this understanding and acceptance for a relationship that was 6+ years where I was almost going to marry this person
Mm-hmm.
to, okay, I'm in a new relationship now that's making me happy in this different way, but how do I deal with all of that emotion from that previous relationship?
Looking at imaginary buffalo.
Basically. But it was like, it was, for me in that moment, it was, I was looking down this new path and looking back at this old path and seeing my old path and saying, I still love that person. I still love the experiences that we got to have together, but this is the path that's better for my future. And, you know, my buddy Henry Zabrowski always
Right.
says,
He's been on the show. He's great.
oh yeah, he always said to me, you know, because I would always tell him about all the weird shit that I would do in my last relationship, and now that I'm with Cosmo, my career's gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
And he's like, you see, you were having all those fucking orgies for a while, weren't thinking about your career. Now look at you. And so he always is giving me a good reminder that, like, you know, a solid relationship can really help you in your life. And I think one of the things that helped me was, you know, going and taking ayahuasca.
Do you have to go somewhere to take it?
Yeah, you go to an undisclosed location.
And how do you, like, sorry, this is fascinating to me.
Please.
How do you, like, is there, like, meetayahuasca.net? Or, like, how do you, like...
You have to get recommended into a community of people, and they interview you and talk to you and make sure you're not, you know, a narc or some crazy person.
Yeah.
And there's other things that you have to keep in mind. Like, if you're on antidepressants, you probably shouldn't be doing it unless you can go off them for like a week or so before. And, you know, I'm fine with all that stuff, and I was able to go ahead and do it. And you go on this like very restrictive diet before. You have to eat like a vegan diet for like 3 or 4 days before, because the medicine takes it, like, it gets in there and rips everything out of you, and you end up puking. I don't know if you've heard about that part of it.
No.
Oh yeah, so
I don't mind puking, really.
Yeah,
it's not the worst.
I mean, I'm happy to hear that. Then you'll love this, because one of the ways it kind of, when it's working inside of you, once you hit a certain level or a certain point of kind of, maybe it's like a realization that you might have or whatever. And some people have like such intense visuals that they get a little nauseous and then they purge. And it's good. You feel amazing after you purge.
But you're doing it with all these people, so does anyone throw up on anybody else?
No, everyone has a bucket.
Oh my God.
And like little TP, everyone gets that. But last time I did it, it was so cute. This one girl, you have these little backjacks where you're sitting on the ground. And this girl was telling me, she was just like, yeah, I was sitting there and I was feeling it. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. And she said she was thinking like, oh, man, I haven't purged yet. And then her head was back, leaning back. And then she started puking. And then but the puke went up and then fell down on her
no.
before she got to her bucket. But what was great is that the shaman has like 5 or 6 helpers. So they all kind of descend upon this girl and like clean her and like make sure that she's like settled and stable and not like freaking out and not uncomfortable. And
so do you and the other people you're doing with, do you like talk, or is it just all you just...
There's really no talking. You want to stay in like a very meditative state, focus on your breathing, eyes closed for basically 6 hours.
Oh my God.
And there's like, there's music playing the whole time. There's these...
what kind of music? Journey?
There's a lot of Journey, a lot of Bon Jovi. You gotta hold on to what you got. There's
just like the least anything.
And then Satan comes down and rips your stomach open. Yeah, no, there's like these like little instruments from South America called the Icaros. There's like little like leaves tied together, and there's like a drums, and obviously it's like, you know, it's a weird group of people. I will say that it's exactly the group of people you would think would be doing this stuff. But there's also like, you know, it's kind of like the Burning Man crew. So there's every now and then you'll have like this like tech entrepreneur who's like a multi-millionaire roll up, and he's like in like all linen clothes and stuff. Like, that's very funny. So it's a whole diverse group of people, and it's all very, very cool.
I want to go and secretly like change the music beforehand to Journey, or like She's My Cherry Pie.
Yeah. There's this amazing throat singer that's there. I mean, it's crazy.
Oh, like what if your phone goes off?
Yeah, you put your phone away. It's crazy. I tried to record. It's really funny. I've been trying to get this throat singer to record for me for a while, and he's got this amazing voice, right? It's really, really intense. I've been trying to do a project with him, and it's been almost a year, and he was like, why don't you just try to record during the ceremony? I was like, okay. He's like, just be careful of the glow of your screen. So I'm in there, and it's all dark, and it's like 80 degrees, and people are, you know, like really tripping hard.
Yeah.
And he starts to do his song, and I turn on my recorder, and the light just illuminates the entire room. I like scream. I throw the audio recorder away, and people are like all looking at me like, "What the hell's going on with this
my
guy?"
God.
And everyone's tripping face. I mean, it's very intense. There's like, anywhere from 20 to 40 people in a room with you.
And how long does it last?
About 6 hours. And there's multiple doses in the night that you take, and the shaman kind of pours you a little bit of the magic juice.
And how do you get into this?
What do you mean? How do you get in?
How did you like start being like, oh, I know about this thing and I want to do it?
I mean, I've heard about it for a while. People talk about, doing different tripping and stuff like that. I think I got to a point where acid and mushrooms weren't really the experience that were helping me that much anymore. Plus, I have friends that, like, when you're at a party, my friend will be like, "Hey, you want a little cap and stem mushroom?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're in an apartment.
Yeah,
So
you want to
intense.
trip balls in an apartment.
I cannot handle it. He's like, "Oh, just get a little goofy." I'm like, I will lose my damn face. So when I heard about this and how, I first heard it from another lawyer, and I was like, this guy did it like 40 times? I was like, I can do it at least once.
Do you do it in the United States? Or do you have to?
Yeah, you do it in the United States. You can do it in South America as well, but there is a group that travels throughout the United States.
I want to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Will they let me do it?
Yeah.
Or they'd be like, no way, you're crazy.
I mean, they could say that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I could give you a referral.
Yeah.
And then we could get you into the community. But, there's no posting on social media. They're very tight,
Yeah.
They're probably not crazy about me talking about it like this, but
that's okay.
I'm sure they'll get over it.
They'll get over it.
Yeah.
They'll just do their little, what's it called again?
Ayahuasca.
Iowaska. I'm sorry. I don't know. Like, I normally just like go to brunch.
That's what's so funny. It's like, I mean, the healthiest I am is before I do ayahuasca to prepare for it, which is also a little sad.
I don't know if I could not drink for. Can you not drink for 4 days?
No drinking. Yeah, definitely. Alcohol is bad. You don't want to be smoking pot. You don't want to be doing any of that stuff for about 4 days before and after, actually. No sex either.
Why no sex?
The sex is because you want to keep all that energy inside and keep all of that stuff like locked in so that you can use it in the ceremony.
Does anyone ever just start jerking off?
I don't know, but I had sex last time right after, like the next day, because Cosmo came with me.
Yeah.
Because I was just so horny.
Yeah.
And we had, I tell you, it was the best. It was crazy. It was so insane. But it's not good. You can feel like the medicine leave you, which is very strange to even say, but you can feel it stop working because there is work that it does, like this reflection and this empathy that you gain about the world and acceptance about your life is so profound that the work keeps going after you're done.
Interesting. How many times have you done this?
About 5 or 6.
Dude, that's great. I just don't. It sounds so weird. I've been starting to think I need like a new show to watch, but maybe. But maybe I need something more. I just feel like I'm in a rut, Seena.
Yeah. What do you feel? Where do you think it's going? Your career's going so well.
I know. It really is. I'm really happy with my career. And I'm really busy. I just feel like
Career isn't everything.
It's not everything.
You need love.
I need love.
All you need is love.
Well, that's not true.
What's that?
All you need is love.
That's bullshit.
I'd be dead.
It's the most serious you've been this whole time. That's not true. Don't. You're full of shit.
I'd be dead by now.
But yeah, I think there's a thing where I had friends that would be like, I can really separate my personal life and my work. And I'm like, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
It never ends up well that way. Your relationships always suffer. And I think it's so important to have, especially in our business, to have a solid relationship in this world.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard to do what we do.
Right. And I mean, I have a lot of really good friends, and I get freaked out about the idea of having like a boyfriend. I don't know why it freaks me out. So it's like, I don't know. And I normally don't feel this way. I think maybe my current bout of depression might have to do with the not eating the carbs.
That could definitely be it.
I mean, it's only been 3 days.
No, that happens. So the energy from what I did, because I've done this before, it takes at least 5 or 6 days, I think, for your body to adjust to not having carbs.
Yeah.
And you just have these afternoon crashes, right?
I feel terrible. It's 1 o'clock and I feel awful.
Yeah. I mean, it's the worst. I mean, I did no carbs today, and I'm like, really, I had to have like a double shot of espresso before I got here because I would have fallen asleep in the middle of this.
Yeah, I just want a pizza in my body.
Oh God, I want a pizza inside of me too.
So bad.
Oh my God, let's do ass to ass pizza. Tino's Pizza Roll, Requiem for a Dream, ass to ass pizza rolls.
Oh my God. Okay.
I would do that with you.
I would do that, absolutely.
That's friendship. That's real friendship.
That is absolutely real friendship. I'm like, can we do that right now? I've got nothing really. Well, that's not true. I mean, I have some work to do, but that's not going to make me as happy as what you just brought up, making me happy. I'm honestly losing my shit with this like election.
Yeah.
Like I'm losing my shit. I guess like as a libertarian, I don't like. I've never. It's kind of funny in a way because I've never liked either main candidate. So now like people like Megan and like a lot of people who like have always been like solid Republicans, they're like, you know, I don't like either. I'm like, what do I do? It's like, yeah, welcome to my world.
Yeah.
But
what do you think about the? So, yes, I agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah.
It's always tough for me to start talking about this election.
Yeah.
Because for so long, I thought I had a really good handle on talking about politics and not being so emotional about it. But this has destroyed me. This election has like really beat me up. Cosmo came home one night when I was watching the RNC, and I wasn't just watching the RNC. I mean, I had the news on all day on a computer, like when I was out and about or even at work or something. And then I'd come home and watch the whole event at night. And she came home and I looked like a zombie. And she's like, have you been watching this all night? I was like, no. All day.
Yeah, all day and all night.
Really, the negativity, and it destroys you. And what I love to talk about with politics is what kind of world do you want to live in?
Right.
And that's where I love to start because it takes all the people shit out of it, right? Who cares about Hillary or Donald or even Gary Johnson, who I think is super cool, by the way.
Yeah, he's cool.
But at the same time, those people don't matter. What matters is what is the collective agreement that we have as a society that of the world we want to create together. And that's a conversation that we never have. And that's what I try to, when I try to talk about politics, I try to talk about the issues that we all kind of want to fix in this world.
So what do you think Donald Trump's world looks like? The world under Donald with the president?
I think it's, well, I think there's one thing that's actually a positive, right? If I can look at the brighter side of this, is that all the racists that have been silent for so long are now have a platform to talk.
Yeah.
They now have the space to say, hey, I hate the brown people. In fact, I've always hated black people, but now I'm going to lump the brown people in there too. And if you're a Jew, I hate you too. And you know what? I don't have to feel bad about it. And you know what? They shouldn't feel bad about it, but we should have addressed this after the Civil Rights Movement in the 60s.
Yeah.
After we passed the Civil Rights Act, we just said, everything's fine now, everybody. We're going to get integrated. We're all going to get along together. But no, what we did is we silenced white America, and we said, you guys got to come with us right now. You guys got to play ball, or else everyone's going to leave you behind. And we should have just been like, hey, we know you're still racist. Let's talk about why you're racist.
Yeah. That's the problem I have with this whole, like, PC culture thing is it's like you can't say anything. And it's like they're secret racist. Do you think Donald Trump is actually a racist? Or do you think he's just having a good time?
I actually don't think he's a racist.
I don't either.
And I think he's actually a lot more insidious than that. I think he's created a platform for racism because he sees the anger and the rage that's happening out there. And he knows how to play the media. He knows how to play an audience so well. And he plays it like a fiddle. And that platform is what is so strong in his campaign right now.
And Gutfeld and I talk about this all the time. When he says these terrible things, I can't help but laugh.
Oh, of course.
It's so funny. And it doesn't really work with like these people that you're talking about earlier, like people who are racist or who are this or who that are that. They, you know, when they watch Hillary's ads trying to be like saying all the stuff that he said, it looks more like a greatest hits reel than a reason to not vote for him.
We all laughed at it before. Right. And we all thought he was hilarious before.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden everyone took him seriously. And it's like when people don't understand that the satire was a joke, and then you're like, wait, no, he wasn't doing satire, everybody.
Yeah.
It's just him.
Yeah.
And that's what's really troubling and scary is that I feel so upset that we just ignored all of these things that now allowed him to be there. The media is the problem. I think another problem is that campaign finance reform has been just garbage in this country. Forget the presidential election. I mean, all these down ticket races. We have like neutered all of our politicians with money so that no one has any balls, no one has any fortitude to actually stand up for what they believe in and stand up for what they want to say.
I have no idea what any of these people actually believe in.
Yeah.
No clue.
I mean, Hillary has moved so many times on her trade policies and everything like that. Even Donald Trump has moved on policies all the time this election. It's so impossible to find someone who's like, this is what he believes. This is what he's always believed. Here's something that he used to believe that now that he met 150 gay people because he lived in a community where there were no gay people, now he's like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't know about gay people before. Now I'm cool with them. That's fine. That's how the life works and the world works.
Right. You do change your mind about stuff, but you can, with all these like politicians, you can follow the mind changes like tied back to just flows of cash.
Exactly. Flows of cash and like the number of likes on a post somewhere.
Oh, absolutely. God, speaking of post, I still am not over and I'm not even saying I'm like upset, but just generally not over that Cinco de Mayo, I love Hispanics taco bowl meeting.
That's so right.
I remember that came up on my Twitter and I just stared and I was like hitting myself in the face. I was like, is this something I'm seeing with my eyes?
So I always think like things like that, I flash forward to whatever, like 2 years maybe, hopefully it's longer, when they do the made for TV movie of this campaign and of Donald Trump. And it's what actor could play him genuinely, like not ironically.
I feel like he would insist on playing himself. What else is he gonna do?
I don't know how it'll even be taken. Like, how is it not a joke? How do you imitate this election? How do you do the game change and not make it a screwball comedy?
I know. People are still saying, though, like, a lot of the sports are like, he still might win. And, like, he's not going to freaking win.
No, as of right now, if you look at 2012, the polls that came out in 2012 on August 8th of 2012 were the exact way they showed up on November 8th. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the same is going to hold true now. The polls, you can't lie. Donald Trump in the primary is like, look at the polls. Yeah. I'm leading all the polls. Yeah. The polls, every polls, I'm leading.
Yeah.
I haven't heard one fucking peep about those fucking polls with him.
Right.
Because he's losing everywhere. He's tied in Georgia. For Christ's sakes.
Georgia.
We're talking about where Deliverance was filmed, people.
But at the same time, I always wonder, I mean, and I don't actually think this. I'm just kind of throwing it out there as something I don't really actually think, but could be possible. What if he has all these supporters that are like his supporters in secret? If you're in the polls, like someone calls you, you don't want to be like, yes, I support Donald Trump.
I've heard that. I've seen articles about that as well.
I think it's possible.
And I think to your point, we should be scared of this election. We should calmly and quietly go to the polls and make sure that we don't vote for him. Mm-hmm. Right? And vote for anyone else but him. I always tell people, so many people, I'm sure you've experienced this as well. People are like, I don't want to go vote. I'm not voting this year. It's like, no, that's the worst thing you could do.
Yeah.
Please go and vote. I don't care who you vote for. Just don't vote for Donald Trump. I think that's a mistake. But go and vote because the down ticket elections matter. Everyone gets so excited every 4 years for the presidential election. Where are you in the fucking governorship races or the congressional races or the midterm?
That affects you way more. Way more.
Your school district, your school board election matters.
Are you going to vote for Hillary, though?
Yeah, I gotta vote for her.
I hate that.
I know.
Oh, she's awful.
She's tough.
I'm gonna vape. Everyone always thinks I'm hitting a bong on this podcast because listen to this.
Oh yeah, it's a weak bong.
Would you say it smells strawberries?
Yeah, it smells like strawberries. It reminded me of my middle school girlfriend.
I think that's something I can make work for me.
Yeah, I think so. Oh God, it does. It's really bringing me back to these very strange memories I had.
Strange memories with your middle school girlfriend?
Yeah.
How do you have a strange middle school relationship?
I mean, it was very weird because she stuffed her bra.
Why did that?
I'll never forget that.
So, like, did you find how you found out?
I feel like I'm in like hypnosis right now with this.
I'm gonna get the smoke.
Tell
me more, Seena.
I'm remembering more. Like,
I'm blowing smoke in his face. Excuse me. Steam. It's not smoke. It's no different than what comes off of your coffee. I hate when people tell me, the cab driver, no smoking in here. Yeah, I'm not smoking. I'm vaping. That's why my Uber rating is rapidly going from a 4 to a 3. I may have the lowest Uber rating.
That's so low.
I know.
You have to take a lot of Ubers to go that low.
I know.
That's great. You got to get that up, girl.
I know. Sometimes they just won't pick me up.
Quit calling every driver Mohammed, too. You got to stop that.
Mohammed with a Midwestern accent.
Mohammed.
Don't call him Mohammed.
Hey,
Mohammed.
Mohammed.
It's not smoke. It's just vape.
It's so ridiculous. Remember when you left your like charger at my place?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, that was such an ordeal. It was like a 2-week adventure to get you back your tools.
It was really tough, but I've moved now into this robo-skag. It's not really an e-skag so much as a robo-skag skag box.
Okay.
It's really intense. Whenever I have anyone try it, they start coughing, and I'm just hitting this.
So what do I do?
Yeah, you just press the button and inhale. There is kind of like a choke-like thing on there if you want to.
This thing?
If you want to avail yourself of that. I don't know if it's intended to be. You pressing the button?
This button?
No, the homie, the little red button. The little. It's not red. It's silver.
Oh, this button.
Gotta eat carbs. I stopped eating carbs and I lost the ability.
Nothing even came out of calling.
Yeah.
That's so strong. That's like
listen,
the Marlboro Red.
Look at how long I can do it. Ready? This is gonna be very interesting for everyone listening, I'm sure.
What is going into your body right now? This is insane.
The machine gives out before I do. Oh, sweet, sweet babe.
Oh my God.
And I'm totally fine.
That is like the waterboarding of vape. It's like so intense.
Sometimes I just sit in bed and do that.
It's so intense.
The first thing I do when I wake up every morning is just take the biggest rip.
But does it get you like is it like a tobacco-y buzz? Like
It's 100. I'm buzzing right now. It feels so good.
Is there nicotine in that?
There is 6 milligrams. Oh my God.
What is that, a lot?
I was doing 5 and now I'm moving up to 6. That might have something to do with my anxiety.
Oh my God. I feel like that's a lot, right?
That is 100% a lot.
I mean, I smoke a lot of pot. Like I grew up on blunts and like that's very difficult to smoke.
A lot of pot.
A lot of pot.
You smoking that?
A lot of pot. I mean, I grew up in Pittsburgh, so.
That's where you grew up.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, man, that place is a dump.
Yeah, I was the only Iranian kid.
I was just gonna ask you
growing
that.
up.
How the hell did you wind
My
up there?
nickname was Persia all through school. And then guess what happened?
What?
9/11. 9/11. And then all of a sudden, when before I'd walk down the hall and the girls would be like, "Hey, Persia."
Yeah.
And then it was like, "Fucking Persia." That
Really?
fucking
Did
Persia.
people were the kids mean to you?
Oh yeah.
Did they all think you were a terrorist?
No, here's what was worse. They thought they would come up to me and legitimately say, "Hey, I know you're not a terrorist, but like you know a terrorist though." Like legit, you know a terrorist.
They were just like trying to Muslim splain to you?
Yeah, and I had a teacher at one point because I was student council president, so I had to like guide everyone in the Pledge of Allegiance after 9/11. That was awkward. Here comes Seena. And he, so this teacher, I walked into
You should
class
have just
one
came
day.
in with like a turban.
Yeah, exactly. I came into his class one day to run an errand for student council, and he was like, "Oh, I thought all you guys would be run out of here by now."
Oh my, you're kidding, a teacher?
Yeah, and like I didn't know what to do. I'm like 17, 18 years old, and I felt incredibly uncomfortable. I didn't know what to say. And then all of a sudden, one of the students is my friend's little brother. He told his mom. His mom sees me at open house. All of a sudden, I'm like, let's not make a big deal about this. And then the principal comes over, and he's like, wait, what's going on here? And then it all makes this big thing. Next thing I know, I'm sitting in front of this teacher, grown-ass 40-something-year-old man, talking to an 18-year-old with 2 principals on either side of him.
Oh, my God.
And he has to formally apologize to me.
What did he say? I'm sorry I insinuated you were a terrorist.
This is what I knew. Like, I had a life in comedy because he was like, Seena, we joke around a lot, and I thought I think we're friends, and we have jokes, but I think I went too far on that joke. And in my head, I'm going, I don't even know what's going on. Do you know what I did when I saw the towers fall? I called my father, and I was like, was it Iran?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, don't be silly. We don't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, and later did I find out, it's like, no, the Iranian government finances stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or the Saudis, whichever one, you take your pick.
Are your parents are they like religious? Are they like Muslim?
No, they both they denounced Islam in the late 90s when the political situation in Iran started to turn. So I grew up in middle school. I practiced Islam for like about a year and a half or 2 years. And it was like really cool. I would like pray with my dad. I thought that was like a cool thing, a very peaceful thing to do. And then I would read the Quran and I'd be like, Dad, look, very, very angry God in this. Like, why is there so much stuff about like punishment and stuff? And then he started actually reading different translations and interpretations. And then when shit popped off in Iran, they were just like, fuck this religion. Because in Iran, they use it as a vehicle of oppression. You know, if you look up on Instagram, rich kids of Tehran, those kids aren't the most Muslim kids you'd ever see. They're balling out like the Kardashians. Like, and that's like a bunch of kids over there.
I mean, so that's crazy. Just going from like religious to like no religion at all. So
yeah, my parents are Zoroastrians, which is the ancient religion of Persia, which is good deeds, good thoughts, and good acts. And so what was great about that is that there was no real political structure in those days. It was all about survival. It was all about like worshiping the sun because it literally grew the plants that you needed to survive. You had to be a good person because if you were a shitty person in your community, people would starve and die. So there was obviously, once it developed more and the monarchy got a hold of it, it was corrupt.
Good deeds, good thoughts, good acts. I don't think I could do that. I have mostly negative thoughts.
Yeah, mostly negative. I mean, these days, it's like, how do you not have negative thoughts?
Is there like an afterlife in that?
There is. It was actually the first monotheistic religion, so it has like an afterlife.
Do you believe in an afterlife?
Wow, that's a good question. I think I question it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it. I think we're really just going to be dirt and cosmic dust.
Yeah.
But I think the cosmic dust can go places.
Yeah. See, people they ask me like, I say I'm not religious. Like, well, were you an atheist or like, or were you agnostic? And I'm like, I think I'm just like apathetic. Nick Gillespie of Reason Magazine, he uses that, and I'm like, that's exactly how I feel. I'm apathetic because it's like so there's so many religions and it's so hard to figure out like what's right. Like, you know how you wake up if you have like a bunch of stuff to do. One day it's just like there's so much to do, you can't do anything, you feel paralyzed, you don't want to do anything at all.
Yes.
That's how I feel about religion.
And everyone wants you to be on a team. And you must get this a lot as just being like an independent libertarian.
Yeah.
Everyone wants you to fucking pick a side, pick a fucking team.
Yeah.
And I picked the Democrats this year. I was an independent before just so I could vote for Bernie. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Now I got
love
this.
Bernie.
Now I'm on every fucking Democratic email list, and it's like a whole shit show. But at the same time, why is it like the world is so nuanced? We are not a binary species. We have all these different feelings all the time. As a moderate, and I think we're both like kind of independent, we have thoughts that are socially liberal and probably, economically we can have discussions on everything. But why is it that everyone wants you to pick a side, us versus them all the time? It seems so strange.
And even with religion, with like, Republican social conservatism, I have people be very mean to me if they listen to this podcast, or I'll tweet something where that mentions that I'm not religious. They're like, seek the Lord now, which is like, I guess that's like a loving thing. Or they'll be like, you're going to go to hell, which I'm hoping maybe they're saying, I don't want you to go to hell. But it's like, dude, I would rather believe what you believe 100%.
Absolutely. I would love religion. I probably wouldn't do any drugs if I had religion.
Yeah, I would be happy. Like, if I thought that as long as I believed in Jesus, I would go and like dance around with my dead mom and my dead dog in the clouds someday,
Yeah.
I had like my old roommate who's really Christian tell me, yeah, I don't like if your mom died, like without religion, I don't know how I can handle it. I'm like, thank you.
Thanks.
I am drinking a lot of vodka.
You must be a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a girl in high school. I remember I went to a leadership camp, oddly enough, and a girl. I was this like beautiful girl. I was like trying to like hit on or whatever, and I said like, God damn, that's pretty crazy. And she was like, I was like, what did I say? And I went to my friends. I was like, I don't know what I said. I like literally didn't know what I had said to offend this girl, and they were like, you said God damn it. I was like, oh. So I tried to apologize to her, and I was like, I'm so sorry that I said God damn it. I know that's offensive to you. She's like, you don't need to apologize to me. Apologize
to God. Oh, what did you do? Did you
started laughing?
Oh no!
I was like, okay, I see where it is. Like, I don't care how. This was the line I realized in my life where I was like, your hotness isn't everything. I cannot subjugate myself to doing something like this. This is too absurd for me.
And people do believe it. Like, there are people who are like, I'm saving sex for marriage because if not, God will see me moaning and I'll go to hell.
Yeah,
but that's like a real thing.
That's exactly what God wants to be doing right now. God is all about spying on you, making sure that you're not getting pleasure down there. It's like unbelievable, but whatever. Whatever makes get you through the day,
I know people who also like I don't really know them, but like it was like a big thing. Like went to a more like conservative school, and like I've been in a conservative circle. Some people will do like anal, but not.
Yeah.
Because it's technically not in the, like, I'm so sure you get there to the pearly gates and then like me and you are standing next to each other and I get the lever pulled down and he looks at you and he's like, oh, like God's like only in the butthole. Come on through.
Come on through. You could drive a fire truck through that.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't know if people don't think about it or if they really, you think that God doesn't understand a technicality?
Well, here's the thing. One of the things when I was like studying Islam in middle school and stuff, and I even took a class in college about it, one of the things I realized is that there's these Mecca chapters and the Medina chapters. The Mecca chapters were all when Muhammad got the revelations from Gabriel, and he was just like, all right, man, like, everything's good. We're going to unite the people. Like, God is great, all this shit. And then you have the Medina chapters, which is when he set up a society and had to make rules to govern society. And then they decided to lump it all into one book, the Quran. And I'm like, okay, well, that seems a little bit weird. One is like a dude tripped out on a mountaintop and got all these cool words. And the other part is like stone a woman if she does something wrong, or like all these things where like, you know, one part says respect people of the book. The other part says, okay, have a jihad against someone that doesn't, you know, accept you as who you are.
So yeah, what do you do?
What do you do? It's it speaks to the hypocrisy, I think, of all organized religions, is that they are a system of rules that seek to control society or parts of society in some way, and I just can't live that way. I mean, I have a problem like even being in an improv group that I did like 10 years ago.
You were in that's disgusting.
I know, exactly.
You did an improv group?
Yeah.
Is it just...
It was like me and my ex and like a bunch of other people, and I was like, this is crazy. I don't even like being in a group. I like doing my own thing. I like going to the beat of my own drum.
Does anybody like watching improv? I don't know if I don't know that they do.
That Mike Birbiglia movie's doing pretty well.
I mean, there might be like 5 people in the world that are good at it.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is just like, what are you doing?
Everyone else. What was great, it was like, it's great to hook up afterwards.
I was going to say, they all, that's what I've always suspected.
So great.
The improv kids are just like a bunch of all weird, like Asperger-y people that want to find others.
Not even Asperger, it's just like theater kids.
Yeah.
It's just theater kids that don't have like the gumption a lot of times to like go and like do the hard work of the entertainment business, but want to have the fun in the community and stuff like that. Like, I think improv's nice and great, you know what I mean? But people take it too seriously. And I think a lot of comics especially hate it because it's like something they can't do as well. And I think it's an important life skill, you know, to have, like, to be able to improvise your life a little bit and not hold it so tightly. But at the same time, like, I can't hang out with a lot of improv people. It's very difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult. It was very, very serious. I mean, I kind of had a brief fling with an improv kid who went on to clown college, and very weird guy.
Yeah.
One of the weirdest guys of all time.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I would love clown college. That sounds like fun.
But what do you learn? Like, what do you need to learn to be a clown? Like balloons? Like, I get balloons, but that's like different college, right? Balloon college.
There's like a lot of like, what are you doing with your face? Like, what are you doing with how do you build a world of imagination around you for, you know, a child or an adult?
Or an adult. Clown, that's just such a weird, I mean, like, clown.
As a lawyer, I mean, let me tell you, law school was a miserable time of my life. I mean, I did more drugs and alcohol than any other time in my life.
I don't know how. Law school sounds so hard.
It was very difficult. They destroy you and then rebuild you again. It's really, really bad. I don't recommend it. I have $300,000 plus in student loan debt that I'm trying to pay off, and it is a nightmare.
That's awful.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just not realistic. How are you ever going to pay that off?
Well, that's why I'm in this entertainment business. I got to sell a couple shows, Kat. We get this show on the road. We start making $20,000 an episode. I can pay that off in a couple years. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my gosh. Is that why you supported Bernie? Because he was like, it'll be good?
No, I was supporting Bernie just because, like, I liked my big issue is campaign finance reform. That's all. That's like literally the one issue that I think matters more than anything else. I was actually supporting Lawrence Lessig before, who was like the worst person to support. He's my favorite, but I read a lot of his papers in law school, and I really liked him. And that's what he was all about. And I think that's, if we can get to that point in our republic, then everything will start just falling into place a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just really, the elections are just like bought and sold. And I love when Hillary talks about this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the elections are bought and sold. I'm like, look at ya.
Yeah.
Look at ya. When you look in the mirror, Hillary, do you know who you are? Or do you I haven't gotten the email yet telling me who I am today? It's
really difficult. And she says those things. I remember I was hanging out with you like a month or two ago, and you were like, watch it. Hillary is going to be talking about this Pokemon thing. Yeah. And I was like, Kat, no. She's like, come on. And then it's just like a week later, she did the Pokemon
Pokemon go to the polls. I called it. I didn't want to be right.
I know. And I was just, I put my face in my hands. I was like, this is the end of times. This is the end of times. This is what's happening.
She's like, what are the millennials? I watched her, she's got like a Snapchat team. Okay.
Yeah.
And I went to Pride in New York, and I was like following her snaps or her team's snaps at Pride, and it was literally just like pictures of the Pride parade with words over it that were like, yes. I'm like, this is disgusting.
Well, it was the worst was when she first came to Brooklyn to start her campaign headquarters, and she put out a YouTube video to be like, hey, I'm here, and it's just like her walking around Brooklyn. It's like, Could there be anything more uncomfortable for all of Brooklyn than Hillary Clinton walking around? People are like, oh shit, hide your wife, hide your kids, it's Hillary Clinton, y'all. And it's like, I say that, I'm going to still vote for her. It's like, it's really troubling for me. I mean, our drone program's going to be spiraling out of control because of her still.
She's a hawk. She's the most hawkish person in the race.
It's going to be very difficult for me.
Yeah, she's gonna be the president.
But I have to make sure old Donald doesn't get in.
Or else you gotta leave.
Or I'm gonna be locked up in Giant Stadium with a lot of Uber drivers. Mohammeds.
Yeah, I know someone named Mohammed. You're my Uber. I am one of those girls that gets so annoying at the end of the night. I'm just like, I need my Uber. And everyone's like, just do it. Like, shut up. Like, nobody cares. I'm like, maybe Uber. And where's my Uber here? Like, give me an Uber. Okay. Like,
You do get that drunk. Yes.
I'm so, not all the time. No, all the time. No, not. I just, it's like, I'm so annoying. I mean, I do have positive qualities, but I am very annoying.
What do you mean? No, you're not.
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet of you.
No, we party hard.
Yeah.
And you get a little drunk.
Sometimes I do.
You get really wasted.
At times.
Well, that's why you got to hang out with Ben Kissel, because then he'll just pick you up, put you in like a little tree house.
Whenever he's drunk, though, that's horrifying.
You have no idea. You don't even know what Ben Kissel is like drunk.
Yes, I do. One time, he hates when I tell this story, but that's why I'm telling it on a podcast. So
not on Kennedy.
He got drunk, so drunk. He helped me move into my apartment. My dad was there, and he got so drunk that my dad was terrified of making him sit down because it's just like a tree, and he's gonna knock everything like a big drunken tree. Then he started asking my dad to be his dad because his real dad doesn't love him, and my dad's like, yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah, I've known Ben for he was my first friend in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Ben was my first comedy buddy in New York, and we met at an open mic. And we fell in love very quickly.
Yeah.
I took him to my friend's birthday party for him and his fiance. And when my friend and the fiance came out to greet us and stuff like that, I was like, "Oh, this is my friend Ben." He's like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" "Oh, yeah, you look like a high-class prostitute."
Ben said that?
Yeah. And I was like, and that was the first time we hung out outside of comedy. And I was like, all right, this is going to be a good buddy. This is going to be a friend for life.
He gets just so sad.
He does. He's a wonderful man, and he is. I'm very happy that he has the success that he has. He gets to be working.
Me too.
Because we've been yelling at each other about politics for almost a decade now, and it's fun to be able to do it to other people.
That's true. Oh my gosh, it's already been more than an hour.
Oh God.
We've been just chatting about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So this is gonna come out on Monday.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to plug or anything?
Well, Fridays, or at least usually every Friday, I am on Meghan McCain's America Now radio show. You can also
that's true. Every Friday, right?
Yeah. If you want to send hate tweets about Donald Trump, you can send them to me at Seena Jon. That's what I always like to talk about. And then, I'm doing some work with Mike.com, which should be really cool. So I'm interviewing some political activists. And then, that's pretty much it.
Cool. All right. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Everybody, thanks for listening. We're all going to die someday.